Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, I think what happened yesterday was I had a very nice conversation with Ron. It was a 4 hour long conversation. And at the end of the conversation, a little bit after the conversation ended, I I got a notice that I got a medical misinformation strike from YouTube. Now, uh, I've already been, in many ways, contemplating just deleting my YouTube channel many times over. And this is like the type of kick that makes me just want to go ahead and just delete my YouTube channel. Um, in any case, what I decided to do is um, I'm going to stream for a little bit on YouTube, and then I'm just uh, going to stop the YouTube stream and ask people to come over on and watch on X/Twitter. I guess you could also watch on Twitch, but not not a lot of people do that. I'm just really tired of YouTube's bullshit, and frankly, just don't want to deal with it. So if there is a link to the X stream that I put into the chat, and you can go watch the rest of it there. I think X, does a pretty good job. I also the StreamYard link I put on X. So if you would like to join, which you are more than welcome to, um, you can do so by clicking there. Now, what happened to my Safari? There we go. Okay, if nobody's going to join me, which apparently nobody is, nobody likes me, it's okay. Worse things have happened in my life than nobody liking me. I am just going to continue to do chapter 3 of Job on with the Malbim. Okay, so first we'll just go through the Hebrew, and then we'll go through the Malbim on it. אחרי כן פתח איוב את פיהו ויקלל את יומו. And this may be the only time that, usually curse is actually bless in the Hebrew, but here it's v'yikalel. And after then is the 7 days that his friends didn't say anything. V'ya'an Iyov v'yomer. And he answered and said, which is interesting because they didn't say anything. Yovad yom ivaled bo v'halayla amar hora gaver. On that the day has perished wherein I was born. Yovad yom ivaled bo. Gage! Wow.
Hey, how's it going?
Long time no talk.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd jump in, but it took me a moment to figure out with the X
With the
way of doing it.
Yeah, maybe we should end the YouTube stream right now so I don't get another strike. Are people still watching on YouTube? There's 8 people watching on YouTube. Come on, people, move over to X. I might have to kick you guys. So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Kind of tired. My semester for my substance abuse ended, so I won't have class tomorrow for the first time in a long time, which will be nice.
Okay. Is
But
that the end of the class with that guy that you were showing me?
yeah. I probably should download all the videos so I have them.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know. That's the end of the class with him. and then yeah, my so Walden has this weird thing where they do 11 weeks, then 2 weeks off, then 11 weeks. And so they don't pay attention to anything, even like Christmas break.
Oh, they just go right through.
They
Yeah.
just go right through. It's 11 weeks, 2 weeks, 11 weeks, 2 weeks, right?
Okay, I see.
Um, like many students, Jacob has a semester of substance abuse. You're not on X. Yes, X does have chat. So yes, if you click on it, you should be able to. Uh, you can chat in the X. So please do. Um, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean my semester, I'm more of a normal semester system. Mine ended like a week and a half ago. And then we don't start off again until like after MLK Day, which is like the 21st. So it's quite a few weeks off. I mean, my internship that I'm doing at a high school is carrying through. I mean, obviously we're off like in between Christmas and New Year's, but that's still been ongoing. In some ways, that internship has been a little like it's less stimulating in some ways compared to the clinical one I was at last year. Um, I'm meeting with high school students for like 20 to 30 minutes,
Mm,
and I'm encouraged to focus more on just like making sure they're passing their classes than really addressing any issues. But I mean, this is what it is. I mean, it's not like it's not important, and I don't mind doing it, and it's helpful from I'm able to help them kind of having a teaching background to some extent, but it definitely just doesn't feel like even remotely the same thing.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, when are you graduating?
in May. I think it's like
Okay.
the second weekend of May. Um, so I'll start being more active in applying probably in the next month or 2 months.
Okay.
Um, that seems to be what's pretty regular. Um, main things I'm looking for is being able to get hours towards LCSW. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's what they call it in California, but
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yes.
And so that it is, um, yeah, just trying to create something so that, um, financially, my wife can take off time, as much time as honestly possible. So,
Right.
like, hopefully ongoing, you know what I mean? But it just,
Yeah.
there's no way of knowing that now. So that's the goal.
Well, I mean, I think certainly once you become an LCSW, especially from what I've seen, if you're competent, you can end up earning good amounts of money.
Yeah, I think so too. I think especially like in Connecticut, there's like there's a big demand. I don't know if that's sure there's across other states, but so yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it'll just be a lot of the LMSW graduates um usually get some sort of a community health position.
Mm,
Um which it's not the worst pay. I mean, it's always just like a ridiculous caseload and just
so
kind of
I
a bit.
guess that's our equivalent of ACSW. So
I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
LMSW is what I get upon graduating with my MSW.
yeah, that's what we have:
Okay.
ACSW and associate clinical social worker,
Yep. Yep.
and you have 6 years to do 3,000 hours to become an LCSW.
Yeah. I think that I don't know if it's 6 years, but I know it's similar. I think it's the same amount of hours. So yeah. Um so yeah, I mean I don't mind kind of doing the community health thing if that's kind of what makes the most sense. I mean there are other options too. There's working in schools, but sometimes it's hard to find an LCSW who will provide supervision because it's not really how schools operate. And there's a
Right.
lot of there's a lot of people that haven't gotten their LCSWs that work in schools, and that's why they're in schools, because they don't need it. Um, there's working in like hospitals and like more acute healthcare settings. I feel like that's not really my cup of tea, but if that's what makes the most sense, that's fine. But yeah, community health. There's also some private practices or like group practices do take on LMSWs and provide supervision. In some ways, I've heard from people who have gone that route, they some people have had great clinical experience and their supervisor's been able to attend to them a ton and like really, really teach them like higher level therapeutic skills. So
Mm-hmm.
I think those gigs are just harder to get because most group practices don't want to deal with associate licenses, and oftentimes don't need them because it's the community health places that need the associate licensed people. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean you know the whole hierarchy.
Well, I mean, I kind of I bulk at the see. I think there's a lot of people who, being LCSWs, have zero patience and desire to help alleviate the high demand.
Yeah, right. Which if you could have at least some sort of like tiered system within the community health, that would go a long way towards making it more operational, successful, and and then not to mention associates would be more likely to come, and you could end up doing a lot of work because I mean there's a ton of financial incentive there, but exactly, it's just
Okay, so I actually started writing all of 5 words in trying to make the Fountain of Comfort model of care. And since you jumped on, I figured this is all I have written so far. But so we see a growing consensus on many points and have come together to form a charitable organization which can act as a vehicle for cooperation. These points include: one, a mental health crisis exists and is getting worse. Two, psychology has been politicized. Three, the practice of medicine must be guided by ethics which are ultimately determined on a basis of religious axioms. Four, the scientific method provides important insight. Five, intellectual humility requires a dedication to the scientific method without falling for the false ideology of scientism. Six, public health cannot be limited by an overemphasis on the individual. Seven, public health requires intellectual honesty, transparency, and public education. And eight, interpersonal relations are an integral part of mental health. Now, the reason I brought this up, and wow, Christian, hey, um, the reason I brought this up, and I wanted, and the next thing I thought I would add is the economic model for mental health just sucks. But I didn't know how to word
I think you nailed it. No.
that.
Um
Christian, are you still there? Hey, there he is. He's back. Now we have 2 Christians. There we go. Christian is a nurse, by the way.
Big Christian.
And my wife's in grad school to be a mental clinical health counselor.
Nice, nice.
LPCC?
Uh,
Did we lose Christian again? I think we lost
Think
Christian. Again.
so.
It looks like we lost Christian again. Have you met Christian before? You've seen
Yeah,
his
I actually I don't know if he remembers, but it was at my table at lunch one time in the Symbolic World Summit.
Oh, okay.
I do remember Gage.
Yeah.
I do. We bumped into each other a couple times at some.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, good to see
Did
you
he
again.
give you a Fountain of Comfort brochure like I told him to?
No.
He was supposed to be handing out those brochures like candy. So how you doing, Christian?
I'm good. Just doing a lot of YouTube today because I'm driving to on my long commute to Nashville for work. So
So the link is on the X account. So you
Yeah.
have to go over to X to click on the link. First
I
and
know.
foremost.
That
Second,
was
I am not joking. I am going to shut down the YouTube stream and keep on going on X. So, yeah.
Are you just doing that to like as a to get the anybody that wants to like as a preview thing and then push people to X?
Yeah, because I got so pissed off when they took that. Like, it's not even. Well, first of all, I mean, if I hadn't had that video, it was a 4-hour video. If I hadn't put it on X and it's also on Twitch, but I never use my Twitch. The I wouldn't even have a copy of it anymore. Like they won't let you download it.
So you
They
can't even go through and see what it was, or you can't even like go to
they
assess it or
just
anything.
nuked it. They just nuked it, right? And like on X, where I complained, is the only place they actually said anything, because like in your creator's dashboard, there was just a button to take one of their classes on how to not be a medical disinformation person, and B, an appeal button, and my appeal got rejected within 2 hours. It was a 4-hour video. So how, like, did just screw you? Just screw you.
They just went through the script super fast and probably saw some sort of a word or phrase that tipped him off, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
were talking about
AI.
COVID.
It's just AI.
Yeah, yeah, and the funny thing is, I was actually kind of like, so Ron is very much anti-vaccine, and I was
I
kind of,
watched I watched all that part, Jacob.
yeah.
I was
So
thinking about coming in.
and can you, and you know what? I am actually going to drop the YouTube stream so we can continue listening to this. If you want to see the rest of this, come on to X or go on Twitch.